Heian, Japan, an age of refinement and ritual. In Kyoto, poets, courtiers, and priests shaped a culture devoted to beauty and hierarchy. Yet beyond the capital's lacquered gates, the emperor's reach began to fade. Provincial estates, once loyal to the throne, grew rich and defiant. Local governors armed themselves, protecting land and honor with private soldiers. From these quiet rebellions, a new kind of warrior emerged, disciplined, mounted, and bound by loyalty to their lord rather than the crown. The seeds of Japan's future were sown not in the court's poetry, but in the fields and mountain passes where order was breaking apart. The world of the samurai was beginning to take shape. Beyond Kyoto's walls, new powers were stirring. Local governors and clan heads, once servants of the emperor, now ruled their provinces as lords. They built fortresses among the paddies, collected taxes by the sword, and called their warriors Bushi. The Minamoto, the Taira, the Fujiwara, their banners spread across the land. The emperor's decree grew distant. Loyalty now belonged to those who could defend the harvest. In the wind of the provinces, the old order cracked, and the age of the samurai began to breathe. Across the provinces, the sword became a profession. Men born to guard their lords began to train in the art of mounted archery and close combat. They called themselves Bushi, warriors. Their loyalty was personal, their honor absolute. To disobey a command was to lose not only favor, but life itself. From these ranks came discipline, hierarchy, and a code that valued courage over comfort. In the dust of the training fields, the shape of Japan's future army was being forged. The samurai were no longer servants of the court. They were the steel of the nation. In the year 1180, Japan fell into civil war. Two great families, the Taira and the Minamoto, turned their armies against each other. Villages burned, temples were razed, and for 5 long years the empire trembled. On land and sea, samurai clashed beneath a blinding storm of arrows. Loyalty was tested in blood. The age of the court was ending, and a nation of warriors was being forged in fire. The Genpei War would decide who ruled Japan, and how Japan would be ruled for centuries to come. April 1185. At dawn, the fleets of the Taira and the Minamoto faced each other in the narrow straits of Dan no Ura. The sea wind howled as volleys of arrows lifted into the sky, turning the morning light into a storm of feathered shadows. Wooden warships collided in the waves as samurai fought from deck to deck, their blades flashing above the roar of the tide. Burning oil spread across the water, painting the sea in red and gold as banners tore and fell into the churning strait. When the tide shifted, the Taira were trapped, surrounded on all sides with no room to maneuver. Many warriors leapt into the sea rather than be taken, choosing death over dishonor. Among them was the young Emperor Antoku, carried into the depths by his grandmother. With his loss, the Taira vanished from power, and Japan crossed the threshold into the age of the samurai. With the fall of the Taira, the Minamoto rose as the dominant force in Japan. Across the provinces, white banners bearing the Minamoto crest flew above a land still marked by the scars of war. In Kamakura, Minamoto no Yoritomo gathered his most loyal warriors and retainers, shaping a new center of authority far from the ritual elegance of Kyoto. In 1192, the emperor named Yoritomo Sei Taishogun, granting him the formal power he already commanded through discipline, loyalty, and military strength. For the first time, the seat of real authority shifted away from the imperial court to a warrior government led by the shogun. From Kamakura, a new order began to take form, one built on duty, hierarchy, and the rule of the sword. The age of the samurai had truly begun, and the shogunate would shape Japan's destiny for centuries to come. From Kamakura, the Minamoto built a new kind of rule, one shaped not by court ceremony, but by the discipline of warriors. As Yoritomo's authority grew, military governors and stewards were placed across the provinces, enforcing order, collecting reports, and ensuring that loyalty flowed back to Kamakura. Rebellion was dealt with quickly, loyalty was rewarded carefully, and every samurai understood that power now rested with those who could command it, not with the nobles in Kyoto. Kamakura itself became a working capital. Wooden halls filled with scribes, retainers, messengers, and armored guards moving with purpose, shaping decisions that once belonged to the imperial court. Under this new structure, law became stricter. Rank was clearly defined, and duty became the measure of every man. This was the beginning of Japan's first warrior government, the Kamakura shogunate, and it would reshape the nation for centuries. As the Kamakura shogunate strengthened its rule, a new warrior code began to take shape. Bushido, the way of the warrior, emerged through battle, loyalty, and the weight of responsibility carried by every samurai. Honor was not a symbol, but a duty. Courage meant accepting consequence. And discipline guided every action, in war and in peace. Under this code, samurai were bound not only by the swords they carried, but by the standards they were expected to uphold. Bushido became the quiet force behind their obedience, a code that defined Japan's warriors for centuries. In the centuries that followed, power shifted from clan to clan, but one reality stayed the same. Japan was now ruled by warriors. Samurai commanded provinces, shaped politics, and decided the fate of entire regions. From this world of shifting alliances, new leaders emerged, men whose ambition reached beyond their lands, pushing Japan toward unification. For centuries, the samurai shaped Japan's politics, its culture, and the expectations of honor and discipline that defined its identity. Their code outlived their battles. Their values survived every shift in power. And even after the era of the sword ended, the spirit of Bushido remained, a legacy carried forward in Japan's traditions, its philosophy, and its sense of duty. The story of the samurai ends here, but Japan's story does not. In the next episodes, we explore unification, modernization, and the wars that reshaped the nation. Subscribe to Epic Tales for more AI-crafted historical documentaries.